Big story coming in from Punjab. Captain Amarinder Singh has announced he is launching a new party in Punjab. What we're also being told is that Captain Amarinder Singh is to join hands with the Bharatiya Janata Party in Punjab after the humiliating exit from the Congress party. Captain Amarinder Singh is to launch his new party in Punjab and join hands with the Bharatiya Janata Party. So there is this new equation. Let me quickly cut across to India Today's Manjeet Sehgal, who joins us with the latest on this big story. Manjeet, bring us details of this pact between Captain Amarinder Singh and the BJP, but what's the name of his party? What more can you tell us?
Well, Gaurav, as was evident, Captain Amarinder Singh is going to launch his political outfit very soon, but he has not announced what will be the name of his political outfit, but he is going to form his party. Sources are telling us that he can announce his party within this week. And as far as his party's coalition with other splinter groups is concerned, Captain Amarinder Singh has also hinted that he'll be partnering with some of the breakaway groups of Shiromani Akali Dal, Taksali, besides other groups, to form an alliance in Punjab. Later, he can also forge an alliance with Bharatiya Janata Party. Remember, 2022 elections are nearing in Punjab, and political parties are already gearing up to contest these elections. Candidates are being announced, and in a big development, some of sources also telling us that nearly a dozen Congress leaders are still in touch with Captain Amarinder Singh, who can join his party as and when it is announced, Gaurav.
Okay, so Raveen Thukral has made this announcement. Let me quickly cut across to Rajdeep Sardesai, a consultant editor, for more on this. Rajdeep, was this expected? Was this on the cards, especially after the meeting that took place between Captain Amarinder Singh and the Union Home Minister? Was it not as much about security, but perhaps the new party being floated?
Well, it was absolutely on the cards, because Captain Amarinder Singh is left with very few options. Clearly, the Congress has moved beyond Amarinder Singh, with Channi being made the Chief Minister and Navjot Singh Sidhu the President. So Captain Amarinder Singh has very few options. One of those options is to form his own party, which he is intending to go ahead with. The critical question is his joining hands with the BJP. Remember, for that, Captain is hoping that the BJP will make some announcement around the farm laws. The belief that the Captain camp has is the BJP will make some Diwali bumper offer to the farmers of the country, and based on that, Captain Amarinder Singh will then be able to tie up with the BJP. The buzz also, I can tell you, is that Captain Amarinder Singh in return has been offered possibly a cabinet berth. Agriculture Minister is what I was told by one highly placed source, is what the Captain may well get, even though he was angling, we were told, for the Ministry of Defence. So clearly matters have gone very far between Captain and the BJP. However, the Captain cannot align with the BJP unless the BJP makes this announcement on farm laws. Because otherwise, for any politician today, given the anger against the farm laws in Punjab, it would be a suicide note to tie up with the BJP today. So the BJP first needs to make that announcement on farm laws before the Captain ties up with them. For now,
Rajdeep,
the Captain is going
if I may, Raveen Thukral has also tweeted hopeful of a seat-sharing agreement with BJP in 2022 Punjab polls if farmers' protest is resolved in farmers' interest. Also looking at alliance with like-minded parties, Akali groups, particularly Dhinsa and Brahmpura. Raveen Thukral, media advisor to former Punjab Chief Minister Amarinder Singh. Now, what would a solution be, Rajdeep, which would be in farmers' interests too?
Well, clearly the centre is going to have to withdraw some of the laws. In particular, they will have to possibly give some... they've announced a moratorium so far, but the belief is specific laws that are seen to have damaged Punjab farm interests, particularly what the Punjab farmers are saying, that they want to return to their original system and they want a guaranteed MSP. Now, I don't think that the guarantee will be given in law, but clearly if the law itself is withdrawn, then the possibility exists that you go back to the old system. So that's what the hope is. Captain is banking on that and then hoping to tie up with the BJP and ride he hopes some support that can be created by claiming that he managed to resolve the contentious issue of the farm laws. The sense one gets, Gaurav, is this is working to a script. We are now towards the latter half of October. My sources tell me that everything is likely to be sorted out by Diwali, which is another couple of weeks away. Whether the belief is first Captain will announce his decision to leave the Congress, form his own party. Remember, he formed his own party in the 1990s as well. The belief is once he's formed his party, he will then first look to tie up with like-minded parties in Punjab and then make the grand alliance with the BJP as a final step. So clearly that's the plan, that the BJP and the Captain are working together in tandem. It's clear from the tweets that the BJP and Captain are working in tandem. That has been known for a while.
Yes.
Now it's become official.
Absolutely, this Amarinder BJP tango. And if I may just quote this tweet, the battle for Punjab's future is on. Will soon announce the launch of my own political party to serve the interests of Punjab and its people, including our farmers who've been fighting for their survival for over a year. Captain Amarinder Singh, hopeful of a seat arrangement with the BJP in 2022 Punjab Assembly polls if farmers' protest is resolved in farmers' interest. So the Captain, Rajdeep, has the fight still in him for the battle for Punjab's future. But what does this mean, Rajdeep, for the Congress and for the Akali Dal and of course the Aam Aadmi Party?
You know, Gaurav, it is very clear that the Captain does not enjoy the support of a majority of MLAs in the Congress. At best, out of the 80 MLAs of the Congress, the Captain has the support of around a dozen to 15 MLAs, no more at the moment. And it appears that he's unlikely to add to the number. Let's be clear. The Captain his image had taken a bit of a hit within Punjab because he was seen not to be taking a strong enough stand in support of farmers. Now, can he, by tying up with the BJP, getting them in some way to perhaps withdraw the farm laws or certainly reach out to farmers, can he offset the damage that has been caused to his image of not doing enough for farmers or the anti-incumbency against his government, particularly on the critical issue of the sacrilege issue? Those issues are still on the table. So let's be clear. Captain is doing this for his very survival in politics. For the Congress party, the Aam Aadmi Party and Akalis, they still believe this is a three-horse race in Punjab. Captain tying up with BJP brings in a fourth factor and only leads perhaps to the Punjab election becoming even more competitive, because BJP plus Captain become a fourth force in Punjab politics. So what you've got is Punjab politics becoming more and more competitive. But whether Captain can suddenly overnight transform his image, uncertain. As I said at the start, the Congress is looking beyond Captain. They've put all their eggs in the basket of Channi and to some extent Sidhu. So you'll have the Channi-Sidhu combination on one side. You have Arvind Kejriwal, who's looking for a face at the moment. You've got the Akalis, who are hoping to consolidate the Jat-Sikh vote. And you are hoping for Captain, who hopes that the urban Hindu with the BJP, along with a section of the farmers who may support him, will give a fourth dimension. So it would be too premature to say how it will actually play out. But clearly Punjab politics is becoming more and more fascinating and certainly more competitive.
It certainly does appear to be the case. Now, with Captain Amarinder Singh, Rajdeep also looking to reach out to other like-minded parties or groups. What does this mean? Breakaway Akali groups like Dhinsa or Brahmpura factions, all of them coming together. Who does this damage the most? Does this damage the Congress? Does this damage the Akalis? Or the Aam Aadmi Party, which was hoping to perhaps get more votes, will they not then get the advantage of anti-incumbency, or will they still do that?
Very difficult to say at this stage, Gaurav. The fact is, when Captain himself had split in the 1990s and contested in his own faction of the Akalis in 1998, he had zero impact on the polls. This time, remember, he will be going into the polls as a chief minister of the last 4 years. So he carries the baggage of anti-incumbency, but will hope to carry some of the benefit that will come if he can get the farm laws in some way in support of the farmers. That is the critical issue. Captain's future now is not in Captain's hands. Captain's future is in the hands of Prime Minister Modi and Home Minister Shah. They have to come up with some kind of a sweetener for the Punjab farmers. Without that, the captain cannot afford to tie up with the BJP, because there has been manifest anger against the BJP in Punjab. Should that sweetener come, then captain becomes a factor possibly, and he could damage all parties. He could damage the Akalis, he could take away a section of the Congress vote, and he will hope to offset some of the advantage that the Aam Aadmi Party has built in rural Punjab. So I think at the moment it's premature to say who will he damage the most. But captain's future, and I think this is important to stress, is not in captain's hands anymore. It's in the hands of Prime Minister Modi. And will Prime Minister Modi, who for the last 12 months has refused to buckle down to the pressure from farmer groups, now to accommodate Captain Amarinder Singh, offer a sweetener to the farmers? We don't know, but that's the buzz. Ahead of Diwali, there will be some announcement.
Which is what was being talked about already. Rajdeep, do stay with me. I want to bring in Manjeet Sehgal once again into this conversation. What kind of a sweetener, Manjeet, will farmer groups be looking at? I mean, they've been battling it out on the streets and they've said that they will oppose the government tooth and nail. But should there be a climb down or a sweetener, as Rajdeep puts it, does that change the game?
Well, Gaurav, I want to bring in two things. One, even if Captain Amarinder Singh, his political outfit and Bharatiya Janata Party forges an alliance for 2022 elections, winning elections will not be a cakewalk. There is a lot of anger against the Bharatiya Janata Party. But Captain Amarinder Singh is being viewed as a mediator by the farmer unions. He is in touch with some of the farmer union leaders. I remember just before he quit, he had met some of the farmer union leaders and had raised sugarcane procurement prices. Some of the leaders are very happy and are hoping that they, through the Captain Amarinder Singh, will be able to get all the three laws repealed. And if Captain Amarinder Singh manages to get these laws, contentious laws repealed, he can tilt the big vote bank in Punjab. So that is what Bharatiya Janata Party is now expecting from Captain Amarinder Singh, who can influence the farmer unions. And if laws are repealed, then farmer unions can also announce support to Captain Amarinder Singh.
Laws being repealed, Rajdeep, isn't that a bit much? And let me once again make an effort to link up with Rajdeep Sardesai. Repeal farm laws, or are they looking at a middle ground somewhere, Manjeet Sehgal? Because from some of the conversations earlier, and especially when Captain Amarinder Singh came to Delhi, met the Union Home Minister, he was supposed to come out and talk to journalists but had taken another exit. There was some conversation that there is some middle ground that is being looked at. Will farmer union leaders, will farm laws, if there is a middle ground, will they be satisfied?
Well, Gaurav, the union government had offered some changes and some modifications in the three contentious laws, but that were not acceptable to the farmer union leaders. They are adamant at saying that they will not lift their seas, will not call off their protest till all the three contentious farm laws are repealed. And not only the farm laws, Gaurav, they're also demanding that MSP be made
Give me a moment. I want to quickly bring in Harish Rawat, someone who's been the inside man in charge of Punjab in the Congress party. Harish Rawat ji, how do you look at this development? Captain Amarinder Singh tying up with the BJP and moving forward for the future of Punjab, as he puts it, the battle for Punjab's future.
In fact, it is not the fight for or battle for the Punjab's future. In fact, it is battle just to help the BJP. Whatever step Captain is going to take, that will prove only a boat katwa step, and he will be helping the BJP. In fact, we were apprehensive right from the beginning that directly or indirectly by his action he is supporting the BJP, and or he is working under the pressure of the BJP central government. That was clear to each and everyone in the Punjab.
Harish Rawat ji, what was the pressure on Captain Amarinder Singh, according to you, that he's working with or for the BJP, as you put it? And if he will be, as you put it, a vote cutter or a vote katwa, whose votes is he likely to cut the most, sir?
In fact, he will try to damage the Congress by taking the name of the Congress, because he was associated with the Congress for the long time. That's why he may be trying to create some illusion in the mind of the people. But I think people understand his game plan now.
हरीश रावत जी, इस समय हरीश रावत जी, कैप्टन अमरिंदर सिंह ने ये घोषणा कर दी है कि ये पंजाब के भविष्य के लिए लड़ाई है। वो अपना राजनीतिक दल खोलेंगे, उसको शुरू करेंगे पंजाब के इंटरेस्ट के लिए, फार्मर्स के इंटरेस्ट के लिए। किस तरह से आप इस खबर को देखते हैं?
एक बात मुझे बताएं, उनके हाथ में 5.25 साल करीब जो है सत्ता थी, तो उस समय क्या वो पंजाब के भविष्य के लिए काम नहीं कर रहे थे या नहीं कर सकते थे? जो कुछ उनका अधूरा एजेंडा है जिसको अब वो पार्टी बना करके पूरा करना चाहते हैं।
लेकिन अगर वो अपना राजनीतिक दल बनाएंगे, इससे नुकसान किसको होगा? अगर वो भारतीय जनता पार्टी के साथ जाते हैं, इससे नुकसान किसको होगा?
हमें नुकसान नहीं होगा, क्योंकि लोग समझते हैं उनके खेल को। मैंने कहा ना कि पहले से ही लोगों में ये इम्प्रेशन बना हुआ है कि वो डायरेक्टली और इनडायरेक्टली अकालीज को और बीजेपी को मदद कर रहे हैं। लोग ये भी जानते हैं कि फॉर टैक्टिकल रीजन अकालीज अपने को अलग आइडेंटिटी दिखा रहे हैं, अदरवाइज बोथ अकालीज एंड द बीजेपी आर वन। एंड Captain Amarinder Singh will be only serving their purpose.
But will this not be a major setback for the Congress if, as you say, Captain and Akalis are together? Captain, Akalis and BJP being together, in your assessment, is that not a big loss for the Congress, sir?
In पंजाब में पंजाब के लोग और किसान भाजपा को, अकाली की उस समय की गवर्नमेंट को 3 ऐसे काले कानून उन पर थोपने के लिए जिम्मेदार मानते हैं जो पंजाब की खेती के खिलाफ हैं, जो पंजाब के किसानों के खिलाफ हैं, जो पंजाब के खिलाफ हैं, पंजाबियत के खिलाफ है। तो ऐसे लोगों के साथ जो भी हाथ मिलाता दिखाई देगा, पंजाब के लोग उसको दंडित करेंगे। कैप्टन साहब की जो कुछ भी एक आफ्टर ऑल इतने लंबे समय तक उसमें रहे, तो लोगों के मन में थोड़ा भाव तो रहता है। तो उस भाव को यदि अलग जा करके और उनके पर्पस को सर्व करते हैं बीजेपी और अकालीज के, तो मैं समझता हूँ यू विल लॉस्ट दैट व्हाटएवर रिमेनिंग रेस्पेक्ट ही हैज।
So you are saying whatever remaining respect Captain Amarinder Singh had, that will go. But Captain Amarinder Singh, Harish Rawat ji has also made it very clear that he will join hands with the BJP once there is an announcement on farm laws in the interests of the farmers. Should that happen, will that be a game changer?
अब now सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट कुछ भी कर दे तो लोग 10 महीने का हिसाब जो किसानों ने भुगता है, जिस तरीके का ह्यूमिलेशन उनका हुआ है, 600 लोग मरे हैं, लोगों ने अपने ब्रेड अर्नर खोए हैं, और जिस तरीके से किसानों को कुचला जा रहा है, किसानों के ऊपर ज्यादतियां हुई है, हरियाणा में हुई, उत्तर प्रदेश के लखीमपुर खीरी में आपने आवाज ही नहीं कुचल दी बल्कि साक्षात उनके शरीर को भी कुचल दिया। तो इन सब बातों को देखते हुए अब किसी तरीके का गिमिक किसानों के बीच में न मोदी जी को कोई मदद करेगा, और मोदी जी की मदद में खड़े होने वाले अमरिंदर सिंह केवल अपने को एक्सपोज करेंगे। जो पहले हम लोगों को एक शंका थी कि ये कहीं ऐसा तो नहीं है कि अकालीज और बीजेपी की मदद कर रहे हैं डायरेक्टली इनडायरेक्टली, क्योंकि कांग्रेस को उन्होंने करीब करीब सुला दिया था। उन्होंने उन सारे इश्यूज को जो हमने उनसे कंसल्ट करके, उनसे बातचीत करके 18 पॉइंट छांटे थे जो पंजाब की बेहतरी के लिए थे, उन्होंने 6-7 महीने उन पर कोई काम नहीं किया और उससे पहले भी काम नहीं किया। बरगाड़ी जैसे महत्वपूर्ण इशू जो वहाँ के भावना का इशू है, ड्रग्स का जो धंधा वहाँ चलता है और उसके जो किंग पिन हैं, जो लोग उसके साथ जुड़े हुए लोग हैं, उनके खिलाफ कोई एक्शन न करना, ये सब लोगों की निगाह में बिल्कुल स्पष्ट था कि अकालीस को मदद करने के लिए सब किया जा रहा है। और भाजपा के
there is an assessment of some, Harish Rawatji, that all of this is as part of a plan, because Captain Amarinder Singh has also just tweeted to say that he's hopeful not just of a seat sharing arrangement with the BJP in 2022 Punjab Assembly elections, if the caveat is farmer protests are resolved in farmers' interest. He's also looking at an alliance with like-minded parties such as the breakaway Akali groups, particularly Dhinsa and the Brahmpura factions. Now, in your view, has all of this already been done and only being announced now?
देखिए, कैप्टन साहब की स्थिति यह है कि खाना वो कौवा चाहते हैं मगर तीतर बता करके खाना चाहते हैं। वो जो है फार्मर इंटरेस्ट की बात करते हैं, लेकिन अलायंस वो अकाली से करना चाहते हैं और उसमें मुझे मालूम है, हमारे पास उसकी पुख्ता जानकारी है, उन्होंने जितने फैक्शंस जो है जो अकाली के हैं, जो उनसे टूट करके अलग हुए हैं, उनके बीच में समझौता करवाने की भी कोशिश की थी। चीफ मिनिस्टर रहते कोशिश की थी। देखिए, कांग्रेस ने कैप्टन साहब की बहुत सारी ज्यादतियों को सहा, जो संगठन के तौर पर वो कर रहे थे, जो कांग्रेस के लोगों के ऊपर कर रहे थे। आप अंदाज लगा,
बड़ा आरोप लगा रहे हैं कि मुख्यमंत्री रहते हुए, कांग्रेस के मुख्यमंत्री रहते हुए, आपका आरोप है कि वो अकाली दल की न केवल मदद कर रहे थे, उनमें जो आंतरिक कलह है उसको सुलझा रहे थे, तो फिर उनके खिलाफ कार्रवाई उस समय क्यों नहीं की गई?
देखिए, उनकी, मैंने कहा ना कि इतना लंबा संबंध था कि हम लोगों को उन चीजों को स्वेलो करने में और उसके बाद किसी निष्कर्ष में पहुंचने में समय लगा। वो भी यदि वहाँ के एमएलए प्रोएक्टिव नहीं हो जाते और वो लोग नहीं कहते कि साहब कॉल द सीएलपी मीटिंग, अदरवाइज वी आर गोइंग टू क्विट द कांग्रेस, और 43 या 45 एमएलए हैज पिटिशन विद द कांग्रेस प्रेसिडेंट, तो इसलिए ये सब स्थितियां हुई। मैं ये मान सकता हूँ कि मैं थोड़ा सा पुरानी दोस्ती, पुराने संबंधों की वजह से आई वॉज क्वाइट हेजिटेंट टू डू एनीथिंग विच गोज अगेंस्ट हिज विशेस, बट अल्टीमेटली जो है पार्टी का इंटरेस्ट भी तो देखना था।
बट ही इज आल्सो सेड, हरीश रावत जी, उन्होंने ये भी कहा कि जब तक वो पंजाब का भविष्य, I will not rest till I can secure the future of my people and my state. Punjab needs political stability and protection from internal and external threats. I promise my people I will do what it takes to ensure peace and stability and security which is at stake today. So is he openly saying with Navjot Singh Sidhu or with others, peace and security in Punjab are at stake, sir?
एक तो यदि नवजोत सिंह सिद्धू सिक्योरिटी के लिए इतने बड़े थ्रेट थे तो उन्होंने उनको अपने मंत्रिमंडल में क्यों लिया? इलेक्शन कैंपेन में जब उनके हाथ में सारी बागडोर थी तो व्हाई ही इनवाइटेड हिम, व्हाई ही अलाउड हिम टू जॉइन द पार्टी? आप यदि देखिए, आप सीक्वेंस चीजों को देखिए तो फिर आप इस नतीजे पर पहुंचेंगे कि कैप्टन जो कुछ कह रहे हैं ये एक पार्टिंग
शॉट है। हरीश रावत जी, आप मेरे साथ जुड़े, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।